Well, welcome back, and this is the home stretch. Two Nigerian military officers will face a court-martial over a December drone strike that killed at least 85 civilians, while up to 66 were injured at Tudumbiri community in Nigeria's northwest Kaduna State. That's on December the 3rd. According to military authorities, the drone attack by the Nigerian military mistakenly targeted a religious gathering at the community, killing residents as they celebrated Eid Maulud. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, Nigerian military spokesperson Major General Edward Buba said the strike should never have happened. Take a listen to what he said.
The military has conducted a painstaking investigation into the Tudumbiri incident that occurred in Kaduna State and has initiated disciplinary action against those that we found culpable. Accordingly, the affected personnel are to face a court-martial for acts of omission or commission with respect to the Tudumbiri incident. I'm, however, constrained to speak much about the incident as it will be adjudged as prejudicial, being a case before a court-martial. However, it must be made clear that the incident was a mistake and the victims of the strike were mistaken for terrorists. On this note, on behalf of the Chief of Defense Staff, General C.J. Musa, officers, and personnel of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, our condolences goes out to the families and the loved ones of all those killed in that very sad airstrike.
Now, the December 3 attack is not the first time civilians have been killed and injured in mistaken military airstrikes targeting armed groups. Since 2010, reports of the Action on Armed Violence has recorded 83 airstrikes carried out by Nigerian Air Force in the country, 14 of which have killed 399 civilians and injured 310. Let's discuss this some more now with a former director in the Department of State Services and security expert, Mr. Dennis Amakri. Mr. Amakri, thank you very much for joining us on the program, and thanks for your time. You just heard the defense spokesperson, you heard a statement there. Give me your take on it.
It's in order because when things like this happen, especially in the military, there will be an investigation. And that investigation is going to lead to a court-martial, which is the court. And in the court itself, they will decide. And there are many factors. If that case was one that happened because of technological failure or failure in intelligence, then they'll look at it at that level. But again, one important aspect is when there are civilian casualties. If there is a serious civilian casualty, the severity of that error becomes very, very questionable. So they will find out. And of course, that's also intent, where they will know whether it's mental or it was deliberate.
Now, we've had incidents like this in the past, but they were never given this kind of treatment. Why do you think this is different?
Oh, yes. This particular one is one that a lot of people raised their voices. People wanted to know why is it that we are killing, our military is killing us? Why is that so? And then, of course, the drone attack. The drones are built to give precision strikes. Now, for a drone to mistakenly go through this kind of thing, like I mentioned earlier, could have been a technological failure or intelligence failure. Because I was talking to a military friend of mine, military personnel, and they said that from the drone, the camera, even from a plane, when you look at, and this was happening in the night, when you look at the ground, you will find out that if there is a group of people moving together towards a particular direction in the night, you know, they might have been mistaken for the terrorists who were, you know, they usually gather themselves and they were moving towards an area and they will strike. And this particular strike, I believe strongly, must have been a mistake where the intelligence didn't tell them that, oh, this was a gathering of a church, or, you know, the original intelligence, we would have told them that there is a group of terrorists who are in that area.
Now, this court martial, what message do you think it sends?
The court martial is normal in every military situation. It matters, but the court martial is going to come out with some kind of outcomes. One of the outcomes will be something like no punishment. There will be no punishment. The court martial will judge the case and say, oh, this was actually a genuine, you know, mistake. It was not deliberate. And so they will just warn the people involved. Those two soldiers will be warned. And then, of course, number two, the court martial might send them for retraining. They have to go and get further training on that particular technology that has happened. And then after the training, they will be deployed back. And then, of course, to do their job. But if they find out that they were culpable, then there will be disciplinary action. And the disciplinary action will include maybe a loss of rank or deployment, redeployment into other areas. And then, of course, finally, for the major issue, if it was either deliberate or negligent that caused it, then the court martial might even recommend a stripping of their rank or dismissal from service, dishonorable dismiss.
Now, General Buba said henceforth that the military will exercise extreme caution to make sure this incident never happens again. Now, when you hear that and you look at the numbers that we've had all this while, I mean, the number of attacks, number of mistaken strikes now we've had from 2010. I did quote the figure in my intro. Does that really give one any kind of confidence at all?
Well, yeah, it gives us some level of confidence because he's the military man. But again, he should know that when we are deploying, 10 years ago, Nigerian Army or even the Air Force does not have drones. You know, and now we are using drones. We are deploying drones, which of course, worldwide is the new method of warfare. And as we deploy them, people have to be trained on them. You know, so if the people that are being trained on them will make mistakes, of course, and they will correct them, you know. But I don't believe that a soldier will actually go ahead and say, oh, let me go and strike civilian group. You know, so like I said, the outcomes from the court martial will tell us. And with that kind of outcome, they will make sure that next time the people are retrained on those drones in such a way that that mistake does not happen again.
Mr. Dennis Amakre, thank you very much for coming on the program, and thanks for sharing your time with us. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. All right, that's how much we can take on the program this week. We thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.